Okay, this might be a hot take, but is Vu and Chill slowly dying? If you haven't heard this before, Vu and Chill is just a really simple investing strategy where you buy an S&P 500 index, ETF, or mutual fund, set it to drip and add where you can for compounding, and you basically just set it and forget it no matter what's going on in the market. And this is basically the strategy that Warren Buffett recommends, putting 90% of your money into an index fund and 10% into government bonds. Easy, right? But I talk with a lot of you Gen Z investors, and you guys have told me that this is simply not enough. And it really all comes down to this: the declining purchasing power of the US dollar, mainly due to inflation. $1 back in 1913 is the equivalent of $33 today. In other words, the power of our dollar is basically dwindling to crap. But we don't even need to go back that far. A dollar from 2020 has the same purchasing power as 79 cents today. That's insane. And despite all that, 20 states still have the federal minimum wage of $7.25, which hasn't changed for 17 years. What does that have to do with Vu and Chill? Let's do the numbers. Okay, let's say you're in your early 30s. According to Vanguard, the median 401k balance is $17,000. Assuming you're going to retire when you're 65, you have 35 years of growth, and the S&P 500 is about 7% per year after inflation. By the way, I know the numbers vary from person to person, so this is just an example. And though this number is much more than most people can contribute, we're going to say $750 every month. Let's calculate that. Here are the results. You put in about $332,000 and your investments grew about $1.2 million for a grand total of $1.5. But remember our buddy inflation? The power of the dollar today is going to be probably worth about 49 cents in 2061. About half. That's absolutely insane. Can you imagine how much groceries will cost in 2061? Vu and Chill has been incredible for baby boomers and Gen X way before a lot of that inflation. They were able to invest when the US dollar was much stronger, and they were able to buy homes for $50K. Personally, I think Vu and Chill seems to be a really simple investing strategy, but I cannot blame Gen Z and younger investors who are wanting to pick individual stocks in their portfolio to make better gains. What do you guys think? Is Vu and Chill still viable for young investors? Let me know. Peace.